Hi.
Good
What's
evening.
up, guys? Okay, here's what happened. I think something is a bit interesting over here because just now
There was
I
a
thought it really
glitch.
we didn't go live. Yeah, a little bit of glitch. Now, welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Three Marketeers show. We meet each other again on another Wednesday night at 10 p.m. This is Jason. I'm your host, and we have our co-host here, Manfred, on the top right, Andrew on the bottom left, and we have Anjuli here, our very special guest tonight. And you know what? She just celebrated her 21st anniversary tonight. She had a very she had a drink in a very fancy what pub, right, or a cafe or a
A
restaurant,
bar,
and
a
she's having
bar.
fun today. So we're gonna, you guys want to get ready to actually learn a lot from our very special guest tonight. But I mean, Anjali was introduced to us by Manfred, so I think we will give Manfred a bit of time to help us introduce Anjali so that our audience we can understand her a little bit more. Manfred.
Yep.
Over to
Anjali
you,
is my instructor for my course covering the content marketing. In fact, some of my seniors in the linking call her the soul of content marketing.
Wow.
SOUL. So very soulful, right? And trust me, you can learn a lot from her. So I don't want to take up too much time. Anjali, you want to take over?
Anjali, do you
Sure,
sing?
thank you. Thank you for having me, and I'm privileged to be here. And I just love the whole vibe of this show, so I'm sure we are all going to have fun. In terms of introducing myself, well, I think I started doing content creation very early. You see, I passed out with history honors. I graduated with history honors, and then I did my
Whoa.
master's in history honors. So I had to write long essays. Yeah, but then I went into fashion industry and I worked for some of the top labels in the fashion world. Uh, names like Tommy Hilfiger, Li and Feng, J.C. Penney, you name it.
Wow.
uh, and then I quit, and I became a mom, and I wanted to bring up my girls. And that's when I became like a independent. I quit 9 to 5. I became an independent consultant, a trainer. And how did I establish my authority? Because right then I didn't have that big logo on my name card anymore. That Tommy Hilfiger logo was gone, that JC Penney logo was gone, and it was suddenly just me and my name, Anjuli Gopalakrishna. So, how do you establish yourself as a brand, as a personal brand, when you're just one person? The only way I could do that was establish my authority, tell people that I know this stuff by writing, right? I created
Wow.
ton of content. So I created lots and lots of content. I started writing blogs about fashion industry and my point of view on fashion industry and whatnot. And that's how I started getting the opportunities to do workshops and training workshops. So content has been a very key part of me growing myself as a brand. And then I got the opportunity in Singapore to work as a trainer and facilitator for the textile and fashion industry training center. And I was on this journey of content when I met with a bad fate. Okay, so I had this accident where I broke my leg, and I was like, I don't know
Whoa.
what to do with my life now. For 8 months I was like wheelchair bound. That's when I really dive deep into all things digital marketing, because I just wanted to reinvent myself. And then I got into content creation, which is not just for the fashion industry, because for general public. Then I said, okay, now I'm open to not just fashion. I can serve with my newfound skills anybody who needs. So that's where I am today. I serve as a consultant, as a coach, to enable small businesses and brand owners, anybody who wants to build their personal brand as well. I coach them on how they can use digital marketing to the best advantage. uh, I help them think about, one of the biggest things about content and effectiveness is having the clarity in your head. You got to be
Wow.
clear. You've got to be really clear about why you're doing what you're doing, right? Because if you're muddled here, you will just keep making efforts and not get anywhere. So I think I focus more on that rather than just giving you some tactics like, oh, this, you run this ad and you will get. No, I want to first ask you, why are you doing this? What's the ultimate objective? Why are why do you want to do this? I think that's where my strength lies. And I've been able to help quite a few companies and SMEs and even corporate big brands. So here I am today, happy to share whatever I know with all of you.
The honor is ours, definitely. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Anjali. I believe, like what you said just now, right? Everything happened for a reason, and that's you had an accident that was a bad thing, but because of that, you got to dive deep into something which established yourself into a very, very precious expert today that helps many people. But I think I like what you mentioned just now. You know, content marketing is not a lot about techniques and whatnot because all this evolves. Because eventually digital marketing, as in like all the platforms, evolves. But what really is important for every content marketer, I believe, it's about knowing why are you doing this. I truly love the concept that you're bringing it up, because that's the hardest part, because you can teach all techniques, whatever posting, when to post and all that, but when you don't have the clarity, you don't get it. So guys, remember, before we dived into the questions and all that, right, I want to see your questions coming in. Like, wait, we have Chiwai over here already, and then Manfred was already saying something, and Chiwai was saying, here is a saying. Chiwai was saying there's a saying, there are no boring topics, only boring content creators. I like that.
Absolutely.
I like that. That's a very interesting key concept over here. So yeah, so basically guys, if you have any questions regarding content marketing, we have a very special guest that can take a lot of serious questions from you. So this is your chance, right? So don't be shy to type your comment. I'll bring them up and ask Anjali as and when we have, in between. But we already have a few questions lined up over here. But I think we should just start from a very fundamental, right, Anjali, if you don't mind. I would like to quickly establish the conversation tonight by helping our audience understand. Because the whole world talks about content marketing. Everybody say that the content marketing is king, distribution is queen. I don't know how do you actually kind of juggle this thing. But anyway, if I am totally new to this content marketing thing, Anjali, how can I understand it, and how can I understand how does it work?
Right. So the way I would explain is that first of all, we are trying to do marketing here, right? So it's all about marketing. And what's the objective of marketing? Objective of marketing is to convey your message to your target audience in such a way that you sell them the story that buy from me or listen to me, and I will take you from point A to point B, right? So point A is where you're frustrated, you're annoyed, you're having some problem in life. And if you buy my product or service, I can solve it for you, right? And I will transform you, from this point of pain to a point of pleasure, right? And that's the purpose of content marketing. It is through your content that you can make this person feel and hope that you and your content, through your content, your product or service, can transform them and take them from this point A of pain to the point B of happiness and bliss and pleasure, right? And so that's where content marketing is all about. How you tell your story in a way that the audience or the person who is receiving your content feels that they are understood, that you get them, right? And that's what builds that connection. And that's what actually is effective content marketing. That's when you've got a buy-in from the listener.
So instead of just writing about the features and all that, one should actually use stories to tell the feature. I think that's the angle of it, right?
So the angle is, stories are the most fundamental way the human beings make sense of this world, right? We are just wired to understand and make sense of the world through stories. Even if somebody is not telling stories, our brain will spin the stories in our brain. That's how we are wired, right? So that is one part. And the second part is when you're creating content, it's not about you. It's not about what you are saying. It's about what the other party who is. I'll tell you one story. There is this guy, an old man, okay, and he must be around 55 years of age. And he goes to this coffee shop. He's tired, and he goes to this coffee shop and he says, "Hey, I want a coffee. I want to take a coffee break." Now, this very young, enthusiastic person on the counter, in the cash counter, she says, "Oh, you want to have a coffee? Great. There is a promotion happening here. And for senior citizens, we are giving a 50 cents off." right? So, and the man was like offended. He was offended like deep within. And he says, young lady, I'm very glad that you're informing me about this promotion right now. But let me tell you, I'm not 55 as yet. And this
Okay.
enthusiastic customer service person on the desk, she says, oh, never mind, you look 55 enough for me. I can bypass the rule for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And the man was furious, and the beauty of this story is that this girl was trying to be at her best when she was trying to be the best customer service professional, right? And she actually submitted this story as a nomination for being rewarded in her company, right? That
Oh
look,
boy.
I was so nice to my customer, I ignored his age, and I was like willing to offer him a discount even though he was 55. But look at, what did this person hear? This person received the information, what a rude woman. She can't see that I'm one. She thinks I'm this old haggard.
That's right. Sometimes whatever you say may be interpreted wrongly, right? This time.
Absolutely. So ultimately, the master craftsmen, people who really know how to do content well, and when we talk about content effectiveness, that's what I mean to say that it's not about what you are saying in your mind. It's about what the other person is receiving in their mind, right?
Wow.
And so, as a powerful storyteller, it's your job to control that outcome.
Wow.
Wow.
That
Does
sounds
that make
like
sense?
okay. What it makes total sense. We just have to really think deeper into the way we convey our message and see how we can actually improvise from there.
Yeah.
It
That's
sounds
right.
like a lot of juice there that we need to
I'm
learn. That's a
receiving and
fantastic
processing
story.
at the same time.
I mean, old processor here. We actually have to catch up with these things.
Okay, knock.
I
But
hope
see-
some of it made sense, right?
100%. It makes
absolute
perfect
sense.
sense. It makes perfect sense because this is really. I think this is kind of like this is the question that I never asked myself. To be very frank, I've been creating content. Like I've been posting on YouTube for like a year plus. I have about 600 over videos over there. But seriously, I never thought of this. Thank you so much for bringing this angle
Wonderful.
up. Seriously, that's a fantastic angle to look at this thing. So the way I understand is like, you have to think of, so you have to try to understand. Can I say it this way, Anjali? If a good content creator or so-called the content marketer must be able to try to receive, as go to the position as you become the receiver of the content, and how
That's
do you?
that's
Wow.
right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the best thing is, I think, Manfred, I mentioned this book to you. I'm a big fan of this guy. His name is Kendall Haven. He's
No, not this one. The other one.
Kendall
yeah.
has heaven. Okay.
Kendall Haven. Okay.
Okay. So
He is he's a professor, and he's done research, like all his life he's done research on what makes people, what makes the story stick right in our brain. Like one of the questions that Manfred wanted me to think about is stickiness factor, right?
Yep.
What makes things stick in our heads? Why do we remember certain stories, and why do we not remember certain stories? Why are they lost? So this guy has dived like deep into this subject, and I recommend anybody who wants to be a great content marketer, who wants to influence the outcome of people's behaviors or actions, must read this book.
right.
So
Okay,
I
so
double check with you. His name is Kendall, then Heaven, Haven. Am I right to say
that's
that?
right. Yes,
Wonderful.
Kendall
H-A-
Haven.
Kendall.
Okay,
Kendall.
yeah, let me
Haven.
pass the
Please.
URL into the private chat. Yeah, I think I'm not a good student. I haven't read this yet.
That you can listen to it. You can listen to a book summary or find some quick summary if you're not into reading it, but some really powerful stuff that he talks about. And one of the concepts he talks about, Jason and Andrew and Manfred and all you audience, is that there is a certain you can actually sort of manage how you will be perceived. You can control how you will be perceived by your audience.
Oh,
Yeah, and there's a formula to it, right?
wow.
So he has broken down the concept in such a way that if you include these 7, 8 elements, he talks about 8 elements. If you include these 8 elements and in that order, you can control how your audience will perceive you. So he gives one
Powerful.
example. Like if you see somebody, robbing a bank, right?
Okay.
Your initial perception is that they are doing wrong, right? Your mind will spin a story. Oh, that's bad thing to do. But if you understood the intent, that maybe he was robbing the bank in that moment to help a really needy person,
Okay.
then the perception changes, right?
That's true.
Now the person who was a villain becomes a hero.
Yep, yep.
Right? So these are the
Yeah.
kind of things you have to tell, that when you're telling your brand story, is your brand coming to the rescue, or is the person whose transformation you are thinking about from point A to point B, are they doing will the audience think of them as a hero, or will the audience think of them as a villain?
Okay. Okay. True.
Right?
That's the angle.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So the idea is you have to make them think of a hero who's struggling with something, and the hero achieves this massive goal, and your business or your brand or your product or service just plays that minuscule role of facilitating the hero to achieve their goal.
Right.
Right?
Okay. I mean, it's very easy that you actually came up with a sentence just now, but I think we probably need about 4 hours to digest this thing. Just kidding. But seriously, can I probably probably frame this from the other angle, Anjali, if I may. I think one thing that from all the very powerful sharing that you just shared with us just now, I think one must really understand your audience before you can become a very good content marketer. You can't just talk about, you can't come in and say that, hey, I have the best product, and you never go and try to understand why your audience wants your product and all that. If you don't have all these stories or all these imaginations in place, it's very difficult for you to do this.
100%, 100% agreed on that. You cannot tell stories which will resonate with your audience unless and until you know your audience, right?
Right.
Unless and until you know what keeps them awake at night. You've got to know what is their pain point, what's troubling them, right? What is their deep motivation, what really bothers them, right? And we human beings, interestingly, are emotional beings, right? So it's a research proven fact that we take decisions from the emotional. Emotional is the right brain, if I'm not wrong, and the logic is the left brain, right, Manfred?
Yes.
Right?
I think so. I can't remember really.
Yeah,
Too tired
it is
to-
left
yeah,
logic.
correct.
Yeah, left
Yeah.
is logic, right,
Right
is
is
imagination,
Yeah.
and
Emotion.
emotion
Okay.
and all
Okay.
of that.
It
So,
sounds about
so
right.
it's proven that we take all our decisions are taken subconsciously in the emotional part of the brain, and then we use just the rational brain to the logical brain to justify our decisions.
absolutely.
Sounds right. Okay.
We
Anjuli,
Absolutely.
rationalize.
can I
Yeah,
interrupt?
Manfred, you wanted to
for
ask
one?
something.
Just now you mentioned your story that someone robbed a bank because for the poor. That's your side of the story. But when I
That's
write
right.
my story, I have a different take. A
Absolutely.
very nice guy who worked in the bank day in, day out for 10 years. Suddenly he decided to rob the bank. He becomes the villain. So mine is
Yeah.
the other way around.
I mean, there's another story to be told,
That's
right?
another story. Yeah, but maybe it's exactly the same story, just the orders is different.
Order
Hence, he
is
becomes-
different.
Then
Yeah.
he becomes the villain. Yeah.
Exactly. So the very same person who you could have empathized or sympathized with, you could just turn against him. Your audience could turn against you. And similarly, in your brand storytelling, if you haven't built that connection, that very audience will turn against you.
True.
Right?
We have some
So-
questions over here, Anjuli. Can I actually probably bring it up a little bit? I will read it
Oh,
to
sure.
you.
Sure.
Okay.
Please
First
read
question
it.
is First question is coming from Chiwa. He is saying there are always dry period when there is just no juice. You walk around the room, jump around, smoke 10 packs. That's a lot, man. And there's nothing. What happens? What can be done? What do you think?
Right. So
No
this is what
creativity,
we call, this is a classic problem which most of the content creators will face when there is a total block, right? It's called a block. Nothing is happening. There's no inspiration happening.
Right.
And the way what I have seen what really works is, even if you're staring at a blank screen, just keep staring at it, man. Don't give up, because content is also about, content creation is a lot about developing that discipline muscle, right? A muscle where you just disciplined, in a disciplined way, you just sit there. And I have met so many content creators. I've met authors, even book authors. And this is one question that I've asked them, that what happens on the days when you just don't have the juices flowing, when there is no ideas are not happening, it's a blank, right? What do you do then? And every time when I've met these authors, the answers that I've got is that you just got to be at it. Even if you're staring at a blank screen and your typewriter is not, hands are not able to type anything, just keep staring at it, something will happen, right? And so in that moment, don't be judgmental, just let it go. Don't judge your, what ideas you are pouring at that moment. It's okay, but have that discipline to continue and be at it.
Jason, you're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah.
You go on with your question, Manfred. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to add on top of Anjuli's thing. We just like tap water. Just open the tap. Even though it's dirty, water will comes out first. Just it will flow. Then the clean water will come. Just
Correct.
let it come out. All the dirty water come, then the clean water will come. Just do it,
But our friend has another interpretation. I don't know what he actually listened. He said he's gonna come and stare at my face. Like, for what you want to stare at my face?
Yeah.
For what you want to do that?
That is so creepy, man.
What the? I tell you, seriously, I have no idea what happened to this guy.
He just want to poke at you for a while.
Let's
Just
you
stare.
point him for a bit.
Just stare. Yeah.
But I like
just do it.
But I like the concept, seriously. It is really something that because a lot of so-called content creators or so-called these artists or something like that, they always believe that this is really the flow. But what you just brought up is really another angle to look at it, which is, in fact, it's discipline.
It is.
You just have to be there, keep doing it, and it would happen. Because I think that's how we train ourselves to be at a state of doing something. I like the idea.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So Chiwa, you got it. Don't stare at my face. Something's not right with that. So
First day you go to gym, no result. Second day you go to gym, still no result. That doesn't mean you give up. Month after month, year after year, you surely will get, if you exercise properly.
But if 1 month and 1 year you still don't get result, there's something wrong. You have to actually probably get a coach or something.
You only leave the weight one time and go home already.
That one not right. That one not right. You shouldn't learn from Manfred on that thing. So, by the way, we have another question coming from Renz. Okay, Renz Fernandez is actually asking this on our Facebook page, where he's asking, do you have a content marketing structure? I think that's a very interesting question. For your side, do you have a content marketing structure? You're saying content marketing structure, not content creation structure.
Yeah. Let me think about this one. Content marketing structure.
That's a very interesting question. But don't worry.
Right.
Maybe you can actually take a while.
Yeah. So content marketing structure. I'm trying to interpret this question. What is this person trying to get at?
Yeah. Content marketing structure. Maybe is it a flow? Can it be the flow?
Renz, are you able to help us to elaborate your question even a bit more? Say, example, you are doing it for a certain brand and you want to do content marketing. How are you going to structure it? Am I right to say that?
Maybe we'll just wait for Renz to come back on this thing, Anjuli.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of questions for you. I think.
There are many approaches. So I'm just trying to figure out what is it that we are trying to get at here.
Yeah.
Like one of the structures that you follow is, that, I don't know, have you heard of this lean canvas concept?
Okay. Yes.
Right. So lean canvas concept is a very beautiful concept which allows you to be very clear about what is the problem you're solving, who is the target audience, how are you different from others, all of those things come on that canvas. And so that can help you to then design, your content marketing plan, right? So it is a very clear structure. It puts everything in the respective 8 or 9 boxes of that lean canvas. And then you have absolute clarity that what is it that I'm going after, which is the message, who is the target audience, and what are the 3 or 4 segments that I'm going after.
Right,
so I don't know if that is what is going to satisfy your question when you're talking about content marketing structure. Or
I guess that also depends. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it also depends on what kind of platform that you're looking at and what kind of product that we're actually structuring. But then again, I like the example that you brought up. The lean canvas is a very good example to help us frame certain things when it comes to positioning ourselves and building the story, understanding the audiences and all that. I like the idea. But I believe we answered the question.
Yeah, I think it's a one-page document which has this overall blueprint of where you want to go, what you want to do, who are you going after. Everything is there on that. I think that's a wonderful concept for any marketer to use.
It is. I totally agree. So anyone who haven't heard of Lean Canvas, I think you should actually take a look at it. I went through some classes on that because I was in in an accelerator program. Mm-hmm. So they actually get us to re-look into our business model using the Lean Canvas. That's a very interesting exercise. I love it. Thank you so much for reminding me on this. Now, I want to bring us to the second question. It's already 10:26. We're at the second question. What happened to us? So anyway, now you were saying
because
about
CY was staring at your face.
That's wrong. Andrew, don't bring it up. Seriously. Oh my God, that sounds... I cannot imagine that. Oh my God. Anyway, now, I think that will relate to the first question that we talk about, which is the content marketing, how it works and all that. I think the second question we have for you, Anjuli, is about what are the types of content marketing available? Like, let's say if I'm starting out, if I want to start doing content marketing, what are the types of content marketing that I can start with?
Right. So at this point, I think the types of content marketing, one of the most, the time and tested and the done way of creating content is your text-based content where you write blogs and all of that, right? So if we there are various criteria on which you can define the type of content, right? So one criteria could be, what is the medium you're using? Are you going to write a written post, or are you going to create a video? Are you going to create an audio, or are you going to go live? So that's one way of looking at typification of content, right? The other way to look at is, whether your content will be educational or entertainment oriented or informational, right? So that is the other way of classifying the types of content marketing. In my opinion, any person, like, content is all around us, right? There's information, content all around us, but we consume content for basically 3 reasons. Can you guess?
When we are in trouble, that's one of them.
Okay.
To learn, to entertain.
Yeah.
To learn, to entertain, and
simply bored.
Bored also works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So either we want to be, entertained or educated or inspired, right? These are the 3 main reasons, right? We're seeking some motivation. We want to look up to some leaders and follow theirs. So inspiration, right? So that is another type. So are you going to create content which inspires? Are you going to create content that educates? Or are you going to create like reels which entertains, right? So is reels your thing? Is reels your thing here?
Manfred, he's on TikTok anyway. That's his thing. Manfred.
Yeah, I created my first finger pointing video, by the way, guys.
Seriously?
Yeah, like this.
That's a nice.
And like this.
Okay, that's nice. I think I like the way you put it, because a lot of people kind of like don't have a very clear clarity in terms of why do you want to create content. I think the way we understand it from what you guided us just now, why do people consume content, is a very good point to start. So they are there to be educated, to be entertained, and to get inspired. Yeah. So when you want to start doing a content, I believe it's also finding a platform or a so-called the format that you're comfortable with. Like, I'm totally different from you, Anjali. I can't write. The moment I sit in front, that's the thing for me. No matter how much time I sit in front of a computer and try to type, I can't. But when I speak, okay, that works.
I'll tell you what, there is a solution for you, man. There is a solution for you. Yeah. So just speak to your computer and let your computer voice to text feature do the typing.
Oh yeah, that's one way. That's one way. I like
and
that.
there are tools like otter.ai, or there's another tool. There are so many features, right? You can even turn on the dictation feature of your Google Docs and just speak into your computer. right?
I
And
like the
this
idea.
is what, have you heard of this fellow? He's a king of content, Gary V.
Yes.
Right? The bugger can't write a word. Okay, he is no good at writing. Okay,
Yes.
how does he create so much of content? He just talks, and there are people listening, recording him, and transcripting him.
Yes.
Right.
Dictation. Yes.
That's it. There are people following wherever he goes. There'll be 10 camera people, 10 transcribers around him, right? Because he's reached that stature now. They just listen to him, and they just video shoot him, and they just transcribe him. That's it. He does not a single text he writes himself. I'm telling you this.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that's a very good idea.
I just
Yeah.
want to add something. In fact, I think one of the best content is actually in a speech form when you
Yes.
talk.
Because you're
And
talking, you're
it's
conversing.
easier to digest for the readers. So your speech is actually inside the message, the
Yep.
article. Easier to
I like
digest.
the idea.
Really.
I think I probably
have
should
hope.
start doing that.
You
I
have
have
hope.
hopes because you
You
know
have
what?
hope.
Actually, I earlier this year I gave myself this so-called one of a thing to do this year. I want to write a book. Book my ass. I cannot do that, man. Seriously.
No.
Every time I go back to the document and I'll be like, okay, let me do something else. I don't know what to do and all that. I like the idea. I'm gonna do that.
Yep. Do
Jason,
that.
Jason, you never tell us about this. So Andrew and myself will go there, tape you, film you, write down, they help you put all thing. You will be the Gary V. Then we
No.
Andrew will film the thing. Cut.
Right. So create
Correct,
content.
Andrew. Correct,
Whatever
Andrew.
is comfortable.
Right.
Whatever
Because-
works for you, man.
Yeah, because I created so many video content, but when it comes to the text-based kind of thing, I couldn't do that, right? Seriously. But I like the idea. I probably will start doing the dictation thing and then just talk. And something will come out.
Yeah.
Hopefully before end of next year.
Yeah. And turn on the Grammarly tool also.
Oh, yes. That's for sure, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
And then after that, probably once I've done one passage, I'm going to send it over to Manfred. Help me take a look at this thing, whether I did something
Yeah, I'm
weird
telling
or
you,
wrong with that.
even just the Google Docs, the accuracy level of translation is so good. 99% accuracy you will get.
Gonna
So
try
that's
that. Gonna try that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With just a little bit of correction, and you have your text there.
Cool.
Awesome. And we have
All
somebody
right,
commented
all right.
on YouTube, Advantage, saying interesting to learn that Gary V can't write well.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
None of
busy
his
lah.
books.
People write
He
for
didn't write
people.
any of his books.
Yeah, so
He's
everybody
scripted.
actually, he has all these people, he has the team to write, but
Absolutely.
it's him,
It's
because
him.
he's
It's
the
his
one who
ideas.
actually, his
Yeah.
stuff. I like the idea. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna learn that, man. So guys, we are actually halfway down already. If you guys have any questions about content marketing or content creation and all that, you guys feel free to type in the comment section. We're gonna bring it up for Anjuli to answer. But seriously, up to now, even at the second question, I don't know about you guys, man. Seriously, I personally learned a lot of things, which I'm gonna implement right after this. My book, it's been a year, it never came out. Anyway,
It'll
so
be a reality.
hopefully before next year.
Yes.
Actually, very fast, no, 1 month plus only, no.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we have one more question, okay, over here, which is about. I mean, mainly we are trying to frame the questions from the perspective of a beginner. If you're totally new to content marketing. So the next question we have here for Anjali would be, what skills do I need for content marketing? I mean, from judging from there just now, do I need to be able to educate, to entertain, or to inspire? Is that a thing? Or do I need to be like write or talk? I mean, what would be the essential skills needed?
Yeah, let me see how to answer this question. I
Yeah.
think the essential skill which will help you to be a great content creator, at the core, at the root of it, will be empathy, right? So empathy is one skill which allows you to see things from other people's point of view. And once you can put yourself in other people's shoes and write, that is when you will create content that will resonate, right? So I think number one factor in being a great content writer, even if you're a beginner, like my daughter at 2 years had the empathy to just listen to me on phone, and by the tone of my voice she could identify whether mama was sad or angry or upset, right? That is empathy. That is skill that we can develop, right?
Wow.
So that at the root is that skill, and then you can build the writing skills and all of that, right? So I think the rest of the skills are easy to acquire, in my opinion, right? I know of a great content writer. I think you should check out her name, Heneke. She's a great content writer, and she had no clue about content, and she actually learned the art or science of content writing in her 40s.
Wow.
Before that she had, and now she is hired by the best of the best companies as the copywriter for the biggest of the brands hire her, and she actually
Fantastic.
started at age of 40.
Wow. So it's never
Right.
too late to start, guys. Like TY, you want to probably like do
It's
whatever, right? Yeah.
yeah.
It's time.
Heneke, let me give you her name. She's
Yes,
called the
please.
enchanted marketer. Enchanted
Marketer.
Yeah,
That sounds very,
enchanted.
Magical.
enchanted. But I like it. I like the idea of, you must be able to be, to feel and to relate
Okay,
to your
I'm
audience.
sharing a link
Empathy.
with you.
I'm trying to get there. Okay.
Okay, let me share
So
the link with you. You can share this with your audience as well. I think I'm doing a good deed today.
It's good. Definitely.
Well, you are
We
sharing
love all
with
this.
us a lot of stuff. No?
Seriously.
information.
Okay, we have enchanting marketing. I'm actually gonna
Enchanted
bring this up.
marketing,
Yeah. Okay.
And,
So
and
guys,
she has a free course. So she's created like a snackable course which anybody can do free. And right from there, you will start learning what content marketing skills and what is it about. It's a beautiful, beautiful course for free. And and how she does it, she sends you these emails. So you will receive one email every day, and she will teach you something about content. It's beautiful, actually. It's really good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there in a bit. In fact, I'm gonna open up the link already. Okay,
Yeah.
so while we are actually looking at this, right, guys, I have already put the link in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook as well, so you guys can actually go over. But we have a follow-up question from Renz. Renz said the question was answered. Thank you. Thanks, Anjuli. And okay. And he has a question follow-up. He say, how can you have unique marketing content that separates to others if content is everywhere? Wow, that's
such
interesting.
a
That's loaded.
I love that question. Right? So I think you see what makes Jason, and what makes Andrew, and what makes Manfred, right? We all have eyes, we all have noses, we all have heads, right? There are quite a few similarities, right? But there's still uniqueness about us, right? And so amidst all that noise, if you are going to just talk like the rest of them, then you're not bringing the Jason, or you're not bringing the Manfred into the picture, right? And so you will appear like everyone else. You're just adding to the noise. But when you bring your own unique stamp, your own personality, your own understanding, your own insight, your own opinion, your own take on a situation or a content, that's when you make it unique, right? And that's how you stand apart.
Powerful. I like that. I like that so much. In fact, I can relate because I just started a YouTube channel. Again, I don't know what am I doing. Because I recently started to like doing all this planting kind of thing. I bought a lot of plants and all that, and I kill a lot of them because I don't know how to do all this. I kill a lot of them. Actually, so many plants die because I don't know how to water. I don't know how to do this and all that. And then I was like, seriously, I killed so many plants. Might as well I do some videos to teach people not to kill plants. So I shared a lot of my own experience. But at first I was afraid because I was like, I kill so many plants. Why would people want to listen from somebody who kills so many plants? But it turns out it worked. It worked so well that my channel is growing because people make similar mistakes and they like the way I do this. So I think that's a very important key point for any content creators who want to get started. Okay.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. And be you. Just you do you. That's it. You do you. And you will be unique. You take a unique angle on a situation, or maybe you can be unique by talking about a point which others have not talked about, or take a unique stand on a situation. And don't be afraid of taking opinions, of forming opinions about things. And that's where originality will come from. Well, 100 people are saying things, but this is what I have to say on the topic.
Yes,
Right?
I totally like it. And as a
So-
content creator, in order to bring out a personality, you can't be a yes man.
Yeah.
You have to
yeah.
have your own stand. I think that's a very important thing because,
Yeah.
like for my case, seriously, I truly believe that whatever you believe is correct, there must be people who believing in you or actually agree
Absolutely.
to you. And for those who don't, it's okay. You can't
It's
please
okay.
everybody out there, right?
Agreed. 100%.
Right. So
100%.
guys, don't worry. And rents, if you're still, because it's a lot. It's not easy to talk about how do you separate or how do you stand out and all that. The way you stand out is to be you. I like the way Anjali puts it.
What makes you?
What makes rents?
Yeah.
You can't try to be Manfred. It's totally different guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So Rents, I hope we answer your question. Thank you so much for the very unique interpretation, Rents. Anjali, that's a very good angle to look at this question. Guys, anytime, any questions, we have about 19 minutes to go. So much, good information over here. I think we need to revisit this episode. Now, that will bring us to the next question that we have over here, which is like, if I want to start a career in content marketing, if I want to be like you, I want to be like you because you can actually do anything at your own pace. You decide, you're not reporting to anyone. It's that kind of life. And yeah, how can I be you? How can I start a career in content marketing?
I think you should start the way I did. I just simply started creating content and putting it out in the universe. Okay. That's how I started, to be honest. So I would write blog posts and I will publish them I created a very rudimentary blog post. This was in 2009, right? So long time ago. And I used to just publish my content without a care about whether people will read it or not, whether they will like it or not. I didn't care about that. I just said, okay, I'm just going to express and put it out there. And
Right.
as I wrote more and more, not only did I start getting noticed, not only people start saying, oh, here is somebody, who is making sense, or here is a unique point of view. I started getting found by people. It's so interesting. Like I remember one incident where I'm sitting here in India, okay, and somebody from Salt Lake City, Utah, reached out to me, right? And they were like, how did you even know I exist, right? and that's because she was looking for some super vendor training or some such thing, and I must have written a post about what are the traits of super vendors.
Powerful.
Yeah. And she connected with me from all across the oceans. There is no connection, no nothing, right? So I think the way you can start with content marketing is just put your content out there. What you guys are doing, you're creating this content and you're putting it out there, and let the universe decide whether they want to read, listen, or not. And once you develop this body of content, you see, it takes a certain critical mass. You have to reach that critical mass. Then it just explodes one fine day. You listen to any YouTuber story, okay? If you listen to their stories, they will say 3 years, nothing happened, right? We saw no results. There was like, I worked, I slogged my life and nothing happened. But after 3 years, it just suddenly exploded,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You accumulate.
And in those 3 years, you've built that muscle, you've honed your craft, you become that much better, right? So just start like that. That's how you build.
I like that. You can't be something if you don't start doing it. I totally agree to that. If you want to be a YouTuber that can actually make a living from YouTube, you can't be that without start making your first crappy stupid video, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Or maybe not just first crappy stupid video, maybe the first
Many.
100 crappy stupid videos. You have no idea. But if you stop doing it, you won't reach there. I totally like that whole idea. In fact, I seriously, I totally agree to this. That's why, in fact, for whatever you want to become, you just have to start doing it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to start a career in content marketing or whatever it is,
just start doing it. Just start
love
doing
the
it.
idea. Yeah.
In fact, I'm reminded of Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb, right?
Yeah.
So what he said is that I didn't fail at 100 ways of how I I succeeded at knowing how not to make a bulb in 1,000 ways.
Oh, so Jason actually was inspired by Edison.
I was
1,001 way of wrong way to grow your plant.
How not to do, yeah.
how not to kill a plant.
How
to
not
kill a
to
plant.
kill a
1,001 way how to kill a plant.
So I probably should say that. Oh, I just discovered maybe like a 45 ways to
Not to-
not to kill a plant. I like the idea. Okay, maybe I should reposition the channel a little bit. Maybe I can explore better. All right.
Yeah.
But seriously, and another thing that people might be worried that, do I really need to take long time to become what it is? Like let's say if I want to become a content marketing, because Anjuli was saying you just have to keep doing it until the universe. But I truly believe that there are ways. Okay, but what I can suggest maybe a little bit is I think, in fact, Anjuli just put up just now, you have to be empathy. You have to be able to try to be in your audience shoes, and you have to create a kind of content that resonates with them. So another thing I truly believe that if you want to be a content marketing, then you have to really focus on people who are looking for a content marketer. I think that's the angle of it, right? Just like whatever you want to do. So that's a bit of add on on my side. So hope we actually give you some perspective to do this. Now that would lead us to the next question that we have over here, which is like, okay, now since we already talked about how to become a content marketer and how do we start the career, what are the content marketing types and all, how do we measure and improve our content? Is there a process that you can share with us on how do we know if you're doing it right? How do we know if it's time to pivot, it's not the right angle? How can we learn this?
Right. I think for any marketer, one of the most important things is to know, get feedback, right? Get feedback
Right.
about whatever it is that you're putting out there, to know whether it's working or not working, right? And in the modern age of digital marketing, fortunately, there is data. There is data that gives you the feedback. So you don't have to do a shot in the dark any longer. And your data will talk back to you. It will tell you whether your content is resonating or not resonating, right? So what makes a certain content go viral, and what makes certain content go flop, right? So it's just there is no specific you can't, what I would say, you cannot control how whether your content will go viral or not. There is no formula set in stone for that, right? So how do you measure is just your data will tell you, right? Are people really engaging with your content or not? Are they asking questions? Are you getting the likes, shares, comments or not? How many people are visiting your website? What are the top pages? So like on my website, even though I've shifted gears and I write more about digital marketing today, but till date, the most successful piece of content on my website is what clothes should I wear for my body type. Okay,
That's wow.
it's interesting, right? I created a simple calculator where you just had to enter your body measurements: hip, shoulder, waist, and hip, waist, and shoulder. These three or four, yeah. 3 or 4 critical measurements, and then the tool will calculate your body shape, and then based on that it'll give you some recommendations, right?
Wow.
So till date, I'm telling you, that is the tool which gets me the maximum hits from all over the world, not just Singapore or India. I get from USA, I get from all over the place. So that's how you will measure what content is working, whether there is a need for what you're putting out there or not, whether it is resonating with the need of the audience. So this is one of the things that gave me a clue that maybe I can do a startup in that field. Maybe I have an
Maybe.
idea.
Why not? Because it's already getting traction. That's a proven thing.
Yeah, there is validation, right?
That's definitely. As Manfred, you want to say something?
Honestly, as a man, I heard this idea. I also want to read this article and try it out also.
It's only for women right now.
Yeah, I know. I will be curious to read and try the thing out also.
Maybe we should do
Yeah.
another version for men. Manfred, you go do one. And
So
start a
even the
fashion
men are
blog.
interested. Men are also interested to play with it. Try it
Yeah,
out. No
yeah,
harm,
yeah.
what?
True,
man.
true. I think that's a very good idea. Maybe you should, right, Anjali? That's a startup idea
Yeah.
there. It's a very good idea.
Oh yeah, I have a full pitch deck ready for it.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Then you should
That's
watch the next week episode. We are talking about mentoring a startup next week.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I have a full pitch deck ready for it. I'm there to lure anybody with loaded pockets. Come on, show me the money.
All right. Look forward to that. Seriously, must happen. Okay. So I think that's a very good angle to look at this, because the beauty about digital marketing, I totally agree with Anjali, which is we are not shooting the blank. We are not like the conventional type of marketing where we just have to keep writing and we have no feedback, we got nothing. But now whatever you do, you throw it out, you sure will get some splash. And based
Instantly.
on that, yes, and then based on that, because all the data would tell, like the other day, 3 days ago, I just launched a video. I mean, I just published a video on YouTube, and we got good number of clicks coming in. Then we know definitely that's the angle to look at it, because improvisation. Like the other day, I was just listening to one of a YouTuber because I was trying to figure out certain things. He said, in fact, everything that we do is a process. You can't know what works from the very beginning, but you can't know what works without trying out like what didn't work. Just like the Edison story that Anjali shared, just like my story of killing a lot of plants. So I guess that's how we should start. But use the data to help you. That's why I truly believe a good content marketer should be a good data interpreter
Person.
as well.
Absolutely. Like,
But you
I'm
got to
sure,
put enough content out there in order to have a fair, so-called a fair amount of response. You can't expect to put one content and and get that gauge. You see,
yeah.
Actually,
So
not
content is
really, Andrew.
is
Not
that the
really.
case?
Not really. If you go on YouTube, I mean, I'm just sharing a little bit, right? YouTube is very heavy on keyword. Okay. So a few things. I mean, I'm just still a bit of a limelight from Anjali a bit.
No,
YouTube-
please go ahead.
Yeah, it was just I just published 3 videos about all these plant things. One of them hit.
Seriously, plants?
Seriously,
I
I
thought
can
that was
bring
a
some of
joke.
them. Seriously, like the alocasia thing. Those small. Go to my Instagram, then you will see all these tiny little things in. It's already at the garden over there. I kill a lot of them. But anyway, when that hit, instantly you will start seeing spikes coming in. Only 3 videos. I already see the trend.
Only 3 videos, huh?
Only
Wow.
3 videos. You
That's
just need to
interesting.
hit the right one, because
But you won't know which one until you put enough content out there, isn't it? I
have to
mean, maybe
try.
you got lucky.
maybe I
It's
was lucky,
organic,
but
no.
maybe there are a lot of people who kill a lot of plants like me.
It's
Possible.
organic, and some more you only do
100%
so few.
organic.
Right.
No
The
sponsor.
key is very simple for YouTube. I think everybody can actually relate. If you are able to get your people to watch your video through up to 50%, then YouTube will surface you.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
50.
yeah. So you have to
Yeah.
know the trick, the algorithm when it starts kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same, and keywords are big because Google, I mean, YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, right? So it
Owned by Google
definitely,
anyway.
yeah, it definitely, keywords play a big role there. But at the same time, I tend to agree with Andrew that even the algorithms need data to learn, right? And they will collect that data when you have put enough content out there. So even the algorithms need that, right? So it's like a two-way process.
True.
You're a
Just
fit
by-
animal.
Yeah, so I tend to agree with Andrew as well.
Yeah,
The
I think
true-
both are important. I mean, luck is
Yeah.
one thing, but I think
Luck
you have
is,
to
yeah.
keep doing it until you really hit the right chord.
Yes.
I will agree to that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see. We have some comments coming up on, let's see. Wait, this one I don't need to bring up. It's a bit weird. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so no. He don't get to come here anymore. So, okay, then we were just talking about the keyword thing, which will lead us to the next question. I think this is a very relevant question. So when I want to create content, which comes first? Should I do the keyword research first, or should I just create a content first?
Okay. I would say neither. Okay. What
neither?
comes first? Yeah. What comes first is an understanding of your target audience, right?
Agree.
So once you know who is your target audience, that is when you will be able to empathize what might they be searching for, what might they be looking for, what might they be in need of, right? And that's where the keyword research will come into the play, right? So in my opinion, first of all, have a very clear picture of who your target audience is, then do your keyword research, and then come to a conclusion about what content you need to create.
Awesome.
Okay.
So neither. I like that. So you have to understand your audience first. I think that pretty much works. I think I like the angle of this. So then from there, like what we mentioned just now, we probably should, look into the so-called the
Keywords,
analytics and try to see which keyword works better, and we capitalize on it.
Yeah,
We create more
absolutely.
content. Capitalizing is one thing. Like some people have this feeling that when I create one good piece of content about one specific topic that hits the keyword and it start running, and we just have to let it run. But I'm not sure whether you will agree with me, Anjali. The way I do this is when I have a keyword that works, I'm going to create 50 more content or even 100 more content targeting on that keyword.
Yeah. Because you are able to sort of get the audience, and audiences also, the target audiences in the digital world, it varies. So it varies in the sense that what you are able to capitalize on, you use that word capitalize on, right? So it depends what catches the fancy, where it's like an echo chamber, right? That's the way it works in the content world, in the digital world, right? The hashtags and the keywords, they collect information about a certain kind of content and certain kind of audiences that are consuming that content, right? And that's what causes the virality also. Like you see a trend, and then everybody's riding on that trend, and so it catches on, and it keeps creating, that network or whatever effect, what effect it is. So I definitely agree with you that if certain keywords are working, then work more around that, create more and more, and just flog it, just use it to the maximum, right? Take the maximum advantage. And that's how even in the other worlds like reels, or there is a trending music, there's a reason why it is trending, right? And so if you ride on that crest of that wave, then you will reap the advantages, right? So definitely work on that.
Right.
Definitely.
Awesome. So now you guys know it's not really about the keyword, because you can't really work on a keyword if you do not understand your audience. I think that's a very powerful thing. Now, before we really go to the end of this, I think probably we just want to quickly probably just go on this question. Okay, maybe if you don't mind, Anjali, can you share some good content writing example? But I believe you did, right? The enchanting marketing.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. Yeah, she's good.
and
And she writes for a lot of good people. But there's one guy whose content writing style I really like, and I can share with you that fellow, Backlinko. Have you heard of Backlinko?
I think yes.
Yeah. So the guy
Ryan
writes.
Dean.
He no, not Ryan. This Backlinko. Just
Ryan
Ryan
Black
Dean.
Linko.
Skyscraper technique.
Backlinko.
Yes,
Backlinko.
Yeah, I think
Backlinko.
What's his name? The
Brian,
person who is the founder of this company.
Ryan Dean, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
Backlinko SEO training and link building strategies. Backlinko. Brian Dean.
Yeah. Correct. So this guy's content writing style is very conversational, very nice. It sort of speaks to you. It really speaks to you, the content. I really like him. And who else can I think of? This lady I already told you, Heneke. She's really good. Who else comes to mind? Some great examples. I think Neil Patel is also very
yes,
good.
Totally agree.
He is. He's very good at creating good content.
Yeah.
Something that really adds value and that sort of is very easy to understand. So one of the key things about your content is it's not about how fancy English you're using or, loaded, making it complicated. The whole beauty of content is extracting the simplicity out of the complexity, right? So how simply can you put that after you have digested the whole complexity, right?
Love that.
You've digested, you internalize, and then you're able to explain it in such simple words that even a first timer will say, aha, I get it, right? So,
Yeah.
so I think that's the art, and these guys, some of these guys do it really well.
And the
Awesome.
most
awesome.
important of all, one of the most important, Anjuli herself is also.
Yeah,
Can we have the link to connect with you, Anjuli,
Yeah.
on wherever you are, like
Your
your
Instagram
website
or your
or your
Instagram, your
Instagram or
website.
whatever? You know, can you
or
give
your-
us a
Yes.
link that we can direct our audience to you?
I'm like the goddess. I'm omnipresent. I'm everywhere.
You just go and look for Anjuli. I think you can find her. You know, like what she said, she is
So-
everywhere. So I love that.
You will find me. You'll find me on my website. You can find me on Instagram. So my Instagram handle is @Anjuli Go. And if you
Yeah.
can remember Anjuli Go, you will find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere. You'll find me on podcast.
Wow.
So I have my own podcast. I've done 10 or 11 episodes so far, which I call the Digital Marketing Talk Show.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I sometimes I talk myself, sometimes I get guests. If I get lucky, then I bring on guests and we have insightful conversations around digital marketing topics. I write blogs. You can find me on my website. Yeah, even on Podbean. You can find me on Podbean, Apple
Wow.
Podcast.
That's
There
nice.
are lots of places. Yeah.
Okay, I already put up the handle Anjuli Go. So guys, go everywhere and connect with Anjuli wherever you feel comfortable. I believe she has a lot of gold nuggets that she can share with you about content marketing. But that would kind of like bring us to kind of like the end of this. But Manfred, you want
You're
to?
frozen.
Let me. Yeah.
Wait.
But one thing I want to add, she's a true example of just do it. Don't think so much. Just do it.
Awesome.
Just do it.
Okay,
Don't think so
just
much.
do it.
Yeah.
So am I frozen
Let
or
me-
what?
You
A
got
little
frozen
bit.
for a second. Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
Manfred,
second.
you do
Okay.
that. But Chiwai was saying he can't imagine I'm a plant person. Let me bring one of my plant. Wow.
Yeah, please,
Manfred's doing
please. I
this.
want to see.
That
Okay.
happens. That's the thing with pandemic. It turns a Facebook advertiser into a botanist.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Jason is
Great
getting
things have happened
his experiment. This is one Anjali want to recommend, the website called Get Story Shots. So Anjali, you want to take over from here?
Yes, sure. So this is one of the cool tools that I want to share. How do we increase our knowledge? We increase our knowledge and learn from the best minds, the best brains available out there by reading the books, right? And sometimes in our life, we get busy and we don't have the time to read an entire book. So what this tool does is it gives you a summary of the key concept of the book, and it summarizes it not only in the text form. So if you are a person who likes to read, you can read the summary. If you are not too much into reading, you can listen to the audio of the summary, and there is also videos, and it also links you to the actual books if you want to buy. Like, let's say you want to go dive deeper into that book, then you can actually buy the full book as well. But this is a beautiful tool, and it's very reasonable, very cheap, and there is a Black Friday offer also going on. And guys, I have no commercial interest in this. I'm just sharing it because I've been using it for a year now, and I find it super, super useful, super cool.
So I'm gonna put this in the comment. So this is website of the week. Okay, recommended by Anjali. I think I'm gonna get this because I can't seriously. I'm the kind of person who can't really sit down and read a lot. So
Yeah.
I probably will just do this listening thing. Okay, guys.
Yep. Super
This is
cool.
nobility.
Every morning
Awesome.
walk. Listen. Oh, so nice. This is gluing. This one looks happy with you.
This is nobilis. It's not easy to, but it's not difficult. But yeah, so this is
So
one.
this is the one that survives your trauma.
Yeah, these
living
two
with you?
survive. These two
They are
survive.
very
You know-
happy. They look
Wow.
glad.
You know why they can survive? Because this one, like for example, you need to only water it for every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks.
Once
You
in
can't
2
water
weeks.
it once every 2 weeks.
Oh.
So this thing also the same. This thing maximum, you can water it maybe once a week. That's it.
I see.
And this is a
By
new
the way.
leaf coming up. You see
Oh,
that?
okay.
This is a new one coming up.
Nice.
So I killed so many of them. Luckily, some of them actually survived. Seriously.
Jason, I've sown some seeds. I've sown some seeds. I don't know whether they will, sprout or not.
Well,
But
Pass it to
I-
Jason. Pass it to
What?
Jason and don't need to come back anymore.
Yeah.
I sowed some vegetable and fruit seeds, the tomatoes and stuff like that.
Hopefully,
I'm
it
glad
grows.
you're not a farmer, no.
You mean who? Me. Hey, by the way, for your information, I'm actually from a farmer family.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Oh,
grew up in a
wow.
farm.
Okay.
I grew up in a
Yeah,
farm.
I'm a
right?
country girl. My father was a farmer.
100%. So talk about farming, right? Maybe I should
Right.
start another channel talking about this. But seriously,
Yeah.
thank you so much for such wonderful sharing, Anjali. Really, we
this
learned a
is
great deal, and I
really,
believe the
really
audience
good.
as well.
Yes.
So
Thank
this
you.
is one of
Thank
the
you.
episodes
Thank you.
that
I
we will
hope I was
definitely
able to
revisit.
add value. I did my
100%.
best.
100%.
We love it.
Thank you so
We
much.
love it.
We love it. And we wish you all the best with your, like vegetables and all that. But anyway, if you have any problems, you can connect with us. And thank you so much for joining us. And happy 21st anniversary, Anjali.
Thank
We're so
you.
happy for
Thank
you. Like
you.
happy marriage.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yep. This is the end of the show. This is the Tree Marketer Show. Remember, we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. And next week we have another guest talking about what, Manfred, again?
Mentoring the startup for next week for Singapore.
Mentoring startups.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah,
please
Singapore
tell
audience.
everyone who are in startup community to come over and probably learn from our guest next week.
Any question, drop me a message in LinkedIn. And Anjali, don't leave first. We'll talk more at the backstage.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. There are still many of you here, and we hope you enjoy this. And next week we meet each other again on a Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.